Hello, hello. Welcome to Onyx Con. This is the actual play of Trinity Continuum Steam Wars. My name is Scott Cuban. I'll be the story guide. I will let my players introduce themselves. Let's start in the order that I see them on the screen. Let's go start with Joshua.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joshua Allen Deach. I'm a writer for tabletop games, fiction, including a lot of Onyx Path material. And my day job's video games, most recently writing for Dune Awakening. And
Awesome.
I'm happy to be here to fight Steam, or fight with Steam, or on the side of Steam.
It's a little nebulous. We'll figure it out. All right, let's move across my screen and talk to Chaz.
Hi, my name is Chaz. I am a video game researcher by day, story guy, DM by night, and I am also here to fight some Steam, maybe make some art with Steam, so we can figure out how to make that work.
Awesome. And going down, we'll go with Ipsy or Ipse.
Hey. I'm Ipsy, and I thought there would be like steamed buns or steamed clams. I'm very confused right now, but I guess I will channel that confusion into being a actual player here and play this. They gave me a piece of paper with some numbers. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I gotta steam my own buns. Okay, thank you, Josie. I miss you, babe. By day, I am on sabbatical, so I'm not doing anything right now. And by night, I'm still not doing much of anything other than taking care of my daughter, who did a fantastic job on my makeup. Everyone, she's 10 years old, and her art has to be seen and experienced to be believed. I'm so proud.
Absolutely. And finally, we'll Corvus.
Hi, I'm Corvus Crow, a frequent player on a bunch of different channels, mostly story path. Yes, I am that one that destroyed the Napapes in that one game. We don't talk about it.
No.
Anyways, hello, hi. Also, do video game research and also public relations and all the other background stuff for other people that they don't talk about or give us credit on video games. So I'm that guy. Yeah, I was told there was something about steampunk and robots, and then I am able not to do any of that, and I can just look pretty. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
As I mentioned, this is part of Onyx Con, and Onyx Path has a lot of lovely sales and opportunities for everyone. I know that there's a big anniversary sale going on. I am currently putting links to that in the Twitch chat. Also, anytime you can go to start playing games and find plenty of Onyx Path games to play with a professional game master. And I know that there is events going on this weekend. If you are interested in playing Onyx Path games specifically in the context of this con, you can do so. So I put a link to that in the con. And also just a shout out to the Onyx Path partner, the Badana Group. They have an excellent role-playing game that's and support for the charity for this particular convention, the Donna Group. You can donate there to help out with, I believe they do gaming related charity and using games to help people. It's a fantastic organization. But yeah, click all those links. But now we go into the world of this world, but different because it's not this world. It's an entirely different version of this world where empowered materials have been found in the earth and have been harvested by the various imperial powers to create gigantic walking machines of war known as steam rigs. And imperialism being what it is, yeah, it probably doesn't go very pretty. But we zoom in on the globe to the nation of the Netherlands, which, unlike many of the global powers, is something known as a neutral party. The Netherlands does not engage in entangling alliances with other countries or extend their power out into the world to affect their foreign policies. They're not super big on massive extraction of natural resources. So they do not tend to get pulled into the steam wars of the era and the age. However, they do have some steam rigs and some military presence within their own lands to look after their own images, their own interests. And in fact, early this morning, a telegram was sent to National Command of the steam rig fleet, somewhere in the north, in the fjords, in a northern region. It was reported that a strange vessel, unexpected, was coming ashore. And shortly thereafter, the telegraph lines were cut. And as such, the Swift Heart, the fastest steam rig in the Netherlands fleet, has been mustered, brought up to speed, and a crew has been assembled by the people who are around. And as we go to the countryside, the idyllic mid-morning countryside, the birds are singing, animals are frolicking, people are going about their business along the country roads, and the ground rhythmically begins to shake and tremor. Flocks of birds scatter as the sound of steam and metal starts to plunge. The people scatter away from the thoroughfare, the main road, going to buildings. Children get on top of houses as they are informed, so they can also get a glimpse of the massive machine of industry and battle makes its way. And as that machine swiftly runs its way across the horizon, runs down that main thoroughfare, children excitedly screaming to see this massive machine, we zoom in to the cockpit of the machine, where we have a noble, aristocratic pilot working the gears and levers of the helm. Would our pilot please describe and identify their character, please?
So the pilot is named Rem, only first name. We don't do last names here. We want to keep it as big as possible so the art feels the most authentic. He is in his late 30s, fairly decorated, but he usually has some sort of unique accoutrement to his official uniform. Like you have to put in the forms for it. Now he's like on to capes. Like he's super into capes, and so it took him about like 2 months to like get through the red tape. Like he's done it enough that they're like, oh, you just want whatever, just do the capes and do your thing. And so since I know the kids are going to be there, whatever the equivalent of like this thing is for the kids on this, I want to do that for the kids, so they're just like,
yeah, you crank the massive lever that pulls down the steam whistle. It actually, since this is a humaniform robot, a burst of steam comes out of the mouth, and the kids go wild. The parents cover their ears from the loudness. There's some scowls as parents shake their fists as the disruption to the everyday activity occurs. And as you sort of pull that steam a little bit too long, there's a kind of a clunking somewhere deep in the bowels of the machine, as some gear or pipe gets disengaged, and we go down into the engineering bay, where our engineer now has a sudden problem to encounter. Would our engineer please describe their character?
I'm playing the engineer, and no one even knows what his first name is. They just call him Cogs. He and if you ask anyone on the crew, even the oldest, longest crew person that's been on the rig, they are always just like, well, he was here before we were. No one really knows exactly when he came on, if he was ever officially invited, but he's just seems to only live for living in the guts and bowels of his beloved machine, and knowing each and every bolt lovingly, and able to work magic. He is a tallish, which is awkward because he has to fit through a lot of small spaces. Tallish, Doc Brown looking sort of guy. Age upper 30s to upper 70s. It's really hard to tell. He is covered in grease. His arms are hatched and cross-hatched with old steam burns, and the hands don't apparently feel heat anymore. And he is almost always wearing a set of goggles and carrying some sort of tool.
Excellent. And with that tool in hand, you are easily able to identify and rectify the misalignment that was caused by a slightly too long blowing of the steam whistle. Command. When will they ever learn? But as you are fixing it, you have to run through a section of the steam rig, a little kind of bit of an out of the way area, something well protected, as it is a suite for a type of officer that is not always a part of these types of missions. It is an officer that deals with diplomatic and communication issues. Would our envoy please identify their character and describe them for us?
Your envoy, Dante Arte. I mean, yes, my father is Arte of that family, and my mother is that singer, but we don't have to talk about that. We're talking about me. So Dante is having this big bouquet of flowers. He has stolen someone's pair of goggles, probably one of the other ships. Uh, he's not going to call them back anyway, so they're not getting this back. He's walking out, and he's probably seen our engineer Cogs, doesn't pay attention to the cogs because cogs just exist. Is making his way upward, where like maybe like the deck of the ship where like you can get to outside.
Mhm.
And he does one of his famous tricks, and he's just making sure like roses and other flowers are flying out as this rig is being blown away. And we're just watching him throw the goggles up in the air. The outfit has changed. Hi, hello, welcome. You look beautiful, and you look you should go get that checked. And he's just waving and just smiling.
Yeah,
Hello, hi.
the commoners passing by catch a glimpse of this well-known figure. There's a bit of a barely the sounds of cheers and accolades are barely reaches over the din of the running rig. But your people see you and know you.
Of course.
And as you are throwing your roses down, down in another area of the ship, in the main gunner's cockpit, your gauges and sensing array suddenly flares up as it detects a potential incoming. Would our gunner please identify their character and describe them for us, please?
I'm Bernie. You guys, you gotta forgive me. I got the worst hangover. I wasn't even supposed to be at work today. My goggles went missing. I don't even know what's going on with that. My bag I thought I got my bag. See, what happened was I was with I was at the bar, and then there's this bridal party going on, and I don't really remember the rest. Anyway, I got into this line of work because there's only two things I love more than my beloved dead husband Bernie, and that's explosions and lying. So this lets me do as much of both as I want to. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I'm in my mid 30 to 60s, somewhere there. It's not important. And I got into this line of work because, bless his heart, Bernie had that nitroglycerin accident. God, his whole poor heart gave out on him. Anyway, I like the bombs and the explosions, but the noise not so much right now. So,
Well, the noise is particularly intense in your cockpit, as these these barometric sensors are detecting some sort of anomaly as things sort of come into range.
What is this? What is this?
Yeah, your hand sort of goes to the trigger of the main cannon, but then you realize, okay, all right, it's a bunch of roses getting scattered over the field, over the main cockpit deck.
Who's throwing roses?
False alarm doesn't need anything to be blown up.
Okay, I'm gonna use this steam to boil some eggs. Maybe not take the
Okay, absolutely. All right, yeah. So you the rig trundles on as it gets its way out of this this inhabited section, and you get back into pure countryside. Like I said, the Swift Heart is the fastest steam rig in the Norwegian fleet and the Netherlands fleet. So it'll get there quicker than should be expected. Maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on if there's any bad weather hitting or something like that. But yeah, you get all back on the main thoroughfare, and we go back to the main helm, to our pilot lieutenant, who not a full commander yet, since this is an Ajax class. It doesn't warrant a full captaincy commanding it, and the pilot does double duty as both pilot and commander. Once you've navigated out of this like inhabited area, and as you begin to approach the target zone, protocol states that you have a check-in with your core command crew.
All right. Would like to get everybody up on the deck.
You're able to engage a gear that just sets it on a straight course, while you call everybody up to the main deck. And yeah, there's a blast. There's a staticky blast over the internal comms. What does our pilot say to get everybody up?
My dear friends, I thank you for being here on this journey. We are just about to reach our destination. This is a very close. It's close to my heart. I grew up here. I have family in this area. But I hope that we can all do our best to solve this problem, if there even is one. I'll be relying on you, and I hope that you can rely on me.
Oh, so he's broke. That explains everything. Okay.
You guys gotta stop telling people we're friends. I'll be there. I'll be there. It's good. I got a thing with my hip. I'll be there. I'm coming.
All right, so she heads up to the deck. Right. Yeah, you can probably patch some things, get things ready for in the engineering compartment, enough to be able to get away from the gears and the steam vents and all of that to get up to this check-in on the deck cogs. And I believe our envoy is still already there.
Pretty much. The show is over. Now he's just like, I have to work, right? Maybe I can fake an illness. I should ask the gunner. I'll ask the gunner how to fake an illness. That'll work.
All right, dereliction of duty already. So you all assemble on the main deck, and some of the normal crew are sort of assembled some materials, some hastily thrown together materials about the area, about potential issues that might be going on there. It seems like it's time for a briefing to try and maybe figure out a little bit of what might need to be done before you actually start engaging it. What sort of questions, what sort of things are you trying to determine from like the available information that was just kind of like grabbed from the main archives and thrown into the ship, the rig, as before it left?
Are the people who called us alive? Because I've seen enough horror movies when someone calls and then the line goes dead, usually they're dead too.
Well, that's a big question. I mean, that's one of the things that you're being sent to Goom. The communications, there have been no further communications, as it seemed like the line went dead. There is kind of like a shortwave wireless communication that you could start to maybe try and start to dial into, to try and see if there's any like shortwave transmissions that you can tap into to check into. But as of yet, you don't know. The last thing you heard was a call from the kind of the little small dock port that there was a strange, unexpected vessel coming into port.
Okay. I want to look at my gunner and be like, you remember that time when they said, think first, explode later?
I cannot recall a time that anyone has
Good.
ever said.
Don't. We're not doing that right now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
This might be a explode first, and then we'll think after the explosions happened.
I'm with you on this. I like this plan
Yeah.
so much right now. Cogs, baby, you got the coffee going?
The gears are agitated today, and I must soothe them.
Okay, you do that, bitch. And who's this guy? Do I know you? Oh God, no. No, or no, it's fine.
No,
Let's go.
no.
We're rescuing or we're
We
destroying.
wouldn't know each other anyway. So, hello, hi. I don't know you. I just know you do guns.
Yeah, and let's keep it at the we don't know things phrases.
Wonderful.
I love explosions, and if there's anything that I've learned in my years, many years of blowing things up, there's nothing that can be that can't be solved by explosions, including more explosions. So, yeah, let's do that.
Perfect. Captain, why am I here?
On the off chance that this is just a misunderstanding, we need someone of your caliber, your talent, to kind of like talk with people.
Oh,
And on the other hand, if it is not a misunderstanding, but people are in grave danger, we will protect you as explosions come quickly and frequently, and it takes a while to get you. Like once you're used to it, it's fine. Like it's actually like a lot of fun. It's like fireworks but closer. Like it's great.
Yeah,
fireworks were close. All I'm hearing is possible may mean destruction and a hole in my outfit. Okay,
For the
that is what
first
I'm hearing.
hour, after the first hour,
First
you are like
hour?
on top of it.
honestly, once the sound vanishes from your ears, you'll be fine.
The ear bleeding ceases rather quickly.
We
Ear
have
bleeding.
napkins, like specialty thing, like if big ifs. We're planning too much as it is now. Like that's why you're here. You have that soothing presence, that charisma.
Well, I do have a sense of wonder, apparently.
I mean, I saw the roses. That was beautiful. Like I want to ask you, how you did that, but I figured it wouldn't be smart to do that while piloting the rig.
Thank
Right.
you for remembering my birthday and bridal shower.
Of course.
Does next time warn a girl? I didn't even
Of
know.
course. Right. What is her name again?
Did we ever learn your name? Out of game.
Look, it goes with the territory. It's the same thing that I do. It's Bernie.
Explosions
Like my
cause burning.
yeah, Bernie.
Oh, right. Is that biblical?
It's Bernice.
Right.
But Bernie, because
Like Bernie, but
Bernie,
okay.
yeah. Bernie was also my husband. God rest his soul. Beautiful man. He also
Right.
loved explosions and lying. It's
Did he die in the explosions?
I told you the nitroglycerin incident.
Right.
His heart gave out because he didn't get his pills on time.
He's just going to turn and look to the captain. Wonderful. I will be here, I guess.
No. You have to come. Like we're trying to prepare you, but like there is very minimal risk. Just
right.
don't go forward when the explosions are happening, and you're fine.
Yeah. The closer you are to the rig, the safer you are, except for shockwave damage. But I try to minimize that as much as possible.
Bernie's great.
Yeah.
She's an artist with
Explosion.
With the booms. All right. Is there any other information that anyone might want to try and glean from the stacks of papers and maps and charts that got gathered up before the mission was engaged?
So historically, has this area been affected by the imperial pogroms and the globalistic hegemony of the powers that be trying to come in and oppress the local people, or is this entirely out of character for this sort of environment we're going into?
Well, I think probably to determine that information, someone would need to make a culture roll.
I got your culture.
It'd be
can also
culture
assist.
plus probably intellect or maybe even cunning. But yeah, that would probably be needed to kind of decipher the kind of thrown together intelligence files in this stack. So does anyone have a particularly high culture rating that might want to make that roll?
Does close combat count?
No.
I could hit it with a wrench. No, okay, then I'm out.
I have lots of intellect, but no culture.
I also have 0 culture, so
I will roll that for you. Assist.
Okay. So that'll be culture plus either I would say your intellect or your cunning, or if you want to try and convince me that another attribute would be more appropriate, I'd be willing to
Yeah.
listen.
I'll go ahead with culture and intellect.
Okay. So that'll be 4d10s.
Okay.
You're looking for 8s and above for hits.
All right.
And I will say that this stack of information, while sort of disheveled and poorly organized, will give you 1 level of enhancement on this roll.
Okay, well, with the 1 level enhancement, I have 2 10s and an 8.
Oh, that's actually fantastic. So you get a total of that's 2 10s and an 8. That's 5 hits already, plus the 1 enhancement is 6 hits. Yeah, you managed to like rummage through this data and like come up with a pretty well detailed cultural history of this area. It's the Friesland region. It has actually probably the highest percentage of the Netherlands indigenous population. And in terms of like global powers and resource exploitations, actually not been very heavily hit. The most recent discoveries of condensed coal are mostly along the 45th parallel. So other than maybe like British ships maybe coming a little bit too close to the Norwegian waters on occasion. Nothing historically. However, you do find a note that there was very recently, within the past 3 months, a moderately sized deposit of condensed coal was located in the region. And the sort of the town from which this message, the dock town from which this message is probably the closest town nearby to that deposit. And there has been some preliminary excavation efforts begun. You get that kind of note on like recent activity.
I'm gonna note that down after the question. And it's weird because this is moving from Dante's usual flamboyant dandiness to like a still focus of like mapping all of this out. Even has taken some of the grease off of cogs to like make pin notes of everything and pushes it forward.
interesting.
So
Yeah, so I guess you're making this information sort of like available to the rest of them.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, that is something that you're able to determine from these files. It was kind of a like very recent note that was added to these files. Does anyone else want to try and determine anything from these documents?
Now that I have that information, one of my contacts is a Frisian leader, my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
Can I call Auntie and be like, "Hey, I know I haven't called you for a while."
Yeah. Like I said, you can attempt to, there are shortwave transmissions that you can try and start to bring online. Like when you go through, like you think you're probably beginning to get in range for those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you go to the big communication machine and attempt to dial into like that frequency that you are getting some static and you what do you say when you try and raise her on the communication?
So the first like minute is just, "Hey, I know I haven't talked to you for a while. I've been busy." That's just like,
All right, so you're just being very casual about it.
and then it's like,
Yeah,
"Hey, if you're okay, just want to check in on you. Let me know." Essentially being like, I just want to make sure that she's okay so that I can regain my like captain duties, my professionalism. If she's not okay, then like I'm gonna learn how to do explosions from Bernie and also do explosions because like,
got you.
I got
Yeah,
you.
so you are you get a lot of static back. There's some like warbling that might be a voice, but you're not able to make anything out on that frequency.
okay, okay.
And just sort of like scanning around the local frequencies, it seems there's a lot of that going on. You would probably need someone to make a technology roll to maybe try and futz with the dials and the transmitters to try and maybe clear up whatever this interference is.
What's with those?
All right, yeah, so it's going to be definitely a technology plus intellect or another.
Right. Let's see. Got a 9, a 10. Yep, 9 and a 10. Do ones
No,
cancel?
ones don't do anything unless yeah, ones don't. Ones in Story Path Ultra, ones don't actually do anything.
Okay.
The way like botching works in Story Path Ultra is if you don't get any successes, you can either choose to just like standardly fail, get nothing done, or you can choose to accept complications and get back double the momentum. Which momentum is kind of like a meta resource that everyone has. We currently have 4 momentum. But you said you had a 10 and a 9.
That's right.
So since 10s count as 2, that's a total of 3 hits. So as you are tinkering with the transmitter and the receiver, the first thing that you determine is that there is some form of jamming being done. There is something is actively interfering with like wireless communications in this area. You're able to tune it a little bit. You're not able to get a strong signal anywhere, but you do catch a couple of phrases in a language that you don't immediately recognize. It's you're not exactly sure. It doesn't sound. It's certainly not the native language, and it's not immediate. You don't immediately recognize it or are able to make anything out that they're saying.
I'm gonna go get my walking stick that is the leg of an easel reinforced with whatever gold metal is through
Mhm.
steampunk that I used to like whack things because it's still a diplomatic meeting. I will not be on the diplomatic team. I
Yeah.
am officially on the diplomacy team right now.
Right.
Right. It's okay. I can cover in a pinch.
Right.
really diplomacy part. It's the cons in diplomacy. We call it a Frisian diplomacy.
Mm-hmm. So
If you
any
can't-
other questions? Does anyone else want to try and maybe decipher some of these weird signals? Any other questions to be asked from the documents?
Is there any explosion related information that I might need to know? That's what's going to catch my attention.
No, based on the information that your envoy got up, this is a pretty pastoral kind of village. They don't have like any weapons and weapons or anything like that. You know, they might have a village militia in terms of defensive capabilities, but yeah, no big gun encampments, nothing like that. If there's mining going on, there might be like mining related explosives in the area.
Oh, there's coal. There could be mining, but you got to be careful with coal, especially with the mining explosives, and then because you could blow up everything.
Yeah.
That's a footnote that I'm gonna put a pin in for later, in case we need it. It's a special tool that will help us later. Yeah, good. I'm good with that. This coffee tastes like motor oil.
Probably because there's motor oil in it. But anyway, yeah. So, like I said, you're maybe about an hour and change out if you follow the standard route to get to the within closer to get into the region proper. Unless there are any further like intelligence gathering questions or whatnot. We can either maybe make a pilot roll to see if you can up the speed.
I have a delightful idea when he's done with that.
Okay.
Let that finish.
Pilot and like dexterity, I'm
Sure.
assuming.
Yeah, that would be good.
Six hits.
6 hits. All right. Yeah. So you get some gears engaged, get kind of like you're focusing down because you know there are these signs of potential danger. You disengage the autopilot, the autopilot, and start moving this gigantic machine a little bit faster, a little bit more nimble. It does mean that you're going to need to be engaged in the act of piloting, since you're not going down like the main road. You're like jumping over various like maybe small ravines and other things. You're going to need to be involved in the act of piloting to keep at this pace.
Yeah, that's for the best. Like I'm so focused on like what's happening there. I'm either engaged in piloting or like hitting something with a stick. So this is a better use of my energies.
Gotcha. All right. So you shave down probably about half the travel time before you're getting more into a range where you might be able to start figuring things out by like visual range, like bringing up the big binoculars and the other things. So yeah. So is anyone doing anything as the rig starts to get a little more jumpy? As like the internal calibrators start to try to do more work to compensate for the increased speed and weaving and jumping motions.
I am going to use the radio.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do on the radio is every few minutes, I'm going to just click it on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say some nonsense phrase in some completely different language.
Okay.
Donde está de casa de Pepe?
Okay. So what is your intent with this action?
I'm going to see if I can get somebody to respond to any of the languages that I'm trying.
Okay.
Like I'm some demented number station here.
Gotcha. Okay. So that'll be a culture roll. As you just
I was gonna propose manipulation and persuasion because all I'm trying to do is get a response.
Sure. Yeah, you can do manipulation and persuasion. You're just kind of saying nonsense words.
Just
but you can try and provoke a response. Yeah.
Mi pingüino esta muerte.
Sure.
Yeah, things like that.
So yeah, go ahead and make that roll.
Where is the thing? There's the. I'm over here. It's this damn hangover. It's got me going. So that's what that's manipulation, and then the persuasion, like I said. So that's 4. Oops, no. There we go. Oh no, that did not work at all.
Yeah, you're just talking
I am
gibberish.
so bad at this nonsense gibberish. I'm just, if anyone is responding, I have no idea what they're saying, but not that I did in the first place. But
So
no.
that's a failure, and like I mentioned, that gives you another point of momentum. So you have 5 points of momentum. Now, if you want to get 2 points of momentum, you can accept a consequence for this failure.
I love consequences.
Yeah, do it.
I'm helping. This is why I told you, lies and explosions.
Absolutely.
It can blow up in fantastic ways. Let's go with a consequence.
Yeah, you do. So as you're like just talking this nonsense, you're not hearing like any kind of like responses. What you do hear is like after like the 5th or 6th phrase that you pump out, is you're hearing this kind of like warbling, like kind of unrecognizable language words. You hear about a 5-second pause in that communication, and then that warbling and those half words stop.
Fucking got
him. Question. With me being a translator, did I catch any of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe you have the level 3 translator.
That I do.
Yeah, you spend some time. Like I said, this is very warbly, very very hard to pick out. But you spend a little bit of time up until the point when Bernie like tries this thing like making nonsense words, because after she does that, that sound stops. But in the time that you have listening in, you recognize. You think that it's British. You think it's English. Like English words, English accents, but they're talking in code. Like the little bits of tongue, they're not like saying recognizable sentences. You can tell that they are speaking in some sort of like Pignon code, to conceal what they are saying over the wireless. But as soon as you kind of figure that out, good old Bernie tries her little trick, and then they seem to be on to you, and something changes in the frequency, and you can't hear any more talk.
Bernie.
Yeah.
You might want to do that one thing you're very great at, I heard.
What's that?
Jump on the guns real fast. I'm going to go and just do my usual thing. And you just see him bolt out of the room and just scream, Captain! Captain, 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 Captain. And like it sounds like the dandy heels hitting the like metal floors. Click, 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 click. Over to like the cockpit. Hi, Captain.
Hey, I'm just like, I assume like elliptical, just like piloting.
Yeah, a little bit like a Pacific Rim.
Yeah. Hey there, how can I help you?
Oh, we might have company. Bernice, in Bernice's way, tried to help. And you know what? We love helping people, right? Apparently that's why I'm here. I may have tipped off to the British, because they sounded British words who are speaking in code, that we're onto them on their frequency, and we might have company soon because they dropped the line.
Or alternative, what do you call it? Alternative translations. There we go. I got them. I got their ass. They know I'm coming, and they're running scared. Also, we can triangulate their silence based on our location, the location we're heading for, and the point where it cut out. And we can try and pinpoint where they might be in a rough global area. We know if they won't be like in I hope not on the ocean. Shit, maybe. And we know they didn't come from behind us. So there's only like 2 directions they could come from.
If someone
could
wanted
come
to make
from
an
the
attempt at that, that would be an Enigmas roll.
And they could come from the north. Yeah, it's smart.
I'll
Oh,
do
crap,
my
I have
job.
Enigmas.
Fucking smart. I'm a genius, baby. That's why they got me here. The hangover's starting to fade. Enigmas. Maybe that's Enigmas. Well,
Yeah, if there's any question,
I gotta
the
get my
sheet
glasses.
isn't perfectly aligned. So if you have a question of what your level of a skill is, just ask me and I'll clarify it for you.
Could you tell me how much Enigmas I got, babes? Why is everything so tiny these days?
You have 2 levels of Enigmas, 2 dots.
I got 2 levels of Enigmas. Okay, we're getting somewhere on this. And then I'm smart. So this is going to be intellect, yeah?
Yeah.
Or cunning. It doesn't matter. They're both the same. All right. Let's put that in the thing. You know, we got the numbers and the crunching. Maybe it's got to go better this time, right? Yes.
I will also note if anyone wants to try and find a better frequency or try and track the signal down, that would also be an Enigma's rolls. It would be just a different one.
Here we go.
You're
I'll
doing
try
2
this.
separate
That's
things.
a 9 and a 10.
A 9 and a 10. Okay, so that's 3 hits. All right, and so we'll wait to see if anyone else going to make that other Enigma's roll.
I'll do the tracing.
Okay, yeah, trying to break through the communications. Yeah.
1 hit.
1 hit, yeah. You think you might, if you keep trying at it, like if you give it a little bit more, maybe once you get the information from Bernie's triangulation, that might help you out, but you don't get anything just yet. As far as the triangulation, yeah, you start to work it out. You start to plot it on the map. You start to figure things out. And a picture sort of starts to form about like where these transmissions might be coming from. And it is unsurprising when you sort of triangulate and confirm that sort of the most likely area is this village and the area surrounding it where this condensed coal deposit was found a few months ago.
I'm writing on the walls with lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And with that information, you can make that Enigma's roll to try and get to the frequency again, this time with 2 levels of enhancement.
Let's see.
Also, make sure to check. I know I posted the manuscript in the Discord. You all have edges. If you want to just double check to see what those edges do.
All right. So 1 rolled success and I would say I had 2 levels of whatchamacallit?
Enhancement. Yeah,
enhancement.
So that's
and those are automatics. Yeah. Okay.
So how many?
Hits.
3 total hits. Yeah, you spend some time fiddling with the dials, like putting in some punch cards to adjust the very rudimentary onboard difference engine in the steam rig, and you find it's a weak signal, but you find a signal that you find that kind of like warbly, not quite language communication still going on.
I'm sorry, it's one too many bombs. I must have missed what you said, babe. Could you repeat that?
I found a light signal, and they are still warbling to each other.
You're beautiful, Kai. I love you every time.
All right, and so with the signal back, our envoy, if you would like to make a culture roll to try and work out their linguistic code.
Okay, and just for my clarification, because it looks a little wonky on my sheet. Can you tell me how many dots I have in culture?
You have 2 dots in culture.
All right, beautiful. Okay, and I'm rolling with what attribute again?
This would probably be one of your mental attributes, so probably cunning or an intellect would probably apply. But once again, if you want to try and pitch me another attribute, I will listen to crazy madcap justifications.
Composure, if possible, to actually sit down, recenter everything, make sure that we're not getting into like a good firefight. I know some of us really want to shoot the guns, but I want to make sure that like maybe we can aim the guns either correctly or not at all. I'm just going for not at all, but you know what? That's just me. I think we should have a cool head, so I'm just trying to suss out what it is that we're looking for.
I'll accept composure.
Wonderful. Not so wonderful, only one success.
Ooh, yeah, that is rough. Like it is very they whatever kind of like code pigged in language that they've got, it's pretty indecipherable. You're not able to gain any like content from it. But you think, just sort of listening into the cadence of it and listening into, like, you're picking up a lot more lower class accents, and like you're not hearing like the high timbre of what might be like a military accent. This might be some sort of like mercenary operation or pirate crew. You're not hearing the crisp diction of any officers in these conversations.
I'll give these mercenaries some crisp dickens. I mean,
any voices I might recognize a few times on the lam, not for any law reasons, but late night activities where we don't question where we run off to, and we use different names and might have lost a few hundred, 1,000 fooling around, just with some mercenaries and some captains in a night where you don't talk about it.
That, because I happen to know that none of you have any dots in larceny, which was the skill that you would use for that sort of communication and knowledge, will be just a straight cunning roll.
Just straight cunning? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got this. I got more successes than just those 2 dice. 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah, you're listening in. You're just trying to rack your brain, trying to remember, like, times on when you were slumming it in the dark and dangerous areas of the world. You're not certain. But you think you recognize a voice. It's not, like I said, it's not an officer's voice. It's not an aristocrat's voice, but you think you remember it across a card table at some point. The name is not entirely coming to you. Something about salt, something about dog. Something about red eye. It's a jumble, but it's you think you might have encountered at least one of these people before.
Takes the radio from Bernice. Brev, I seem to recall a red salty dog that needed their bloomers back. If you'd like to discuss a negotiation for passage, I would love to hand those back over to you.
Okay. Give me a charisma roll. Probably depending on if you're trying to pull if this is an actual thing that happened, you would be able to use presence. If this is a bit of a fib, that would be under manipulation.
Not a fib. This is
All
an
right.
actual thing. So present it is.
I will say there is a moderate complication on this roll, which is basically something that you will have to buy off with hits. Or even if you succeed, if you don't buy off this complication, something untoward will happen. And so it's a level 2. You'll have to. It's 2 hits worth of a complication to buy off.
Okay. Okay. 2 9s and a 10, so
4 total hits. Okay, so that is enough to buy off the complication. And get success on the roll. So you essentially wait until you recognize that voice has said something, so you know that they're on the line. And what exactly do you say?
It's fully dropped into a different character altogether. Listen, I know. Remember that favor I asked you? And I wouldn't question the thing, and I wouldn't tell a certain boss of yours if you helped little old me with a situation. Get on a different line. Let's talk. I need a help. I need a favor from you. Really quick.
What name would would you be known by in this persona?
Which one is it? He's going through which name he's used.
Going through the mental Rolodex of characters and persona that
Yeah,
you've used.
It's Garth from America. You remember?
Okay, Garth from the American. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you say that over basically open channel. There is and you give one of the side frequencies that this wireless can transmit and receive from. And there's kind of another pause, there's another silence. And then the receiver light starts to flicker on that alternate frequency.
Before he flicks over to the frequency, all right. Do you want to run and gun this one, or do you want to get in there quickly and quietly as possible so you can go and rescue whoever it is you're looking to rescue? Captain?
Without even looking at you, we want to do this to protect the most lives possible. You are here to help us do that, and we trust you to do that. I am under the assumption that explosions will lead to the most lives, but if you have an idea, we're all willing to believe in you. All of us are willing to believe because there's always backup explosions for plan B.
True.
Fine. Okay. He flips onto the line.
All right. And I will note this conversation is being held in English, which none of you but Garth speak. So you're not unless anyone wants to try to make a culture roll while it's going on to try and piece out what is being said. This is not intelligible to the rest of you. If anyone wants to make that culture roll, just do it, and I'll be watching the dice channel. Yeah. So staticky communication over the side frequency goes, Garth, you old bastard, what are you doing out here?
I ran into some problems, and unfortunately, I had to go and make a few deals. You know how it is.
Few deals, you say? Well, we've picked up on some of the locals trying to listen in on our communications. So what are you talking about? Are you working with the damn Norgies?
You wish. No, you know, I had to make a runner's deal, so I'm trying to run some supplies, possibly towards your guys, but I have to do this quietly because if they find out that I make my move, well, that goes upside, and not only does it, they find out, you guys find out, and unfortunately, two other groups that might come behind us also might be listening in. So I was wondering, because you love me so much and you said you would literally give your life for me after those few nights that we don't have to talk about, and I don't feel like getting into it right about now.
Well, you should. I mean, this is not a encrypted channel, my boy.
Well, then the quicker we can get rid of through there, the quicker you can not have to talk about that story. And let me just say, your poster above my desk has always been wonderful, my dear friend.
You flatterer. Okay, give me a persuasion roll with manipulation.
Cool. Um. Okay, 3 successes, and hopefully I might be able to add my negotiator.
Yeah, I would say that your negotiator would come into play here. Let me just double check that. Yeah. So you are able to get him into more of a talking mood. This is like, all right. Well, given our history together, I guess it's just serendipitous that you're in the area. We've got a ship in port in this nothing town. We're doing a bit of a quick and dirty extraction of some local resources. So we're not here for a very long time, if you understand my meaning. So if you can get to the port town in the north of Friesland in the next, I would say, maybe half a day, then yeah, we'll have some space on our ship to put whatever kind of cargo you might need to be getting out of the country.
Wonderful. That is very great. He's making these notes, making a couple of notes for the others to be able to read it. And in fact, he's just like jotting the stuff down live and having them like read it off. There is a part that's in Zulu that he just realizes that he wrote in Zulu, scratches that out, and then goes back to finishing off in English. Oh, one last thing. I know. And he's just trying to remember the captain's aunt. Listen, I'm also supposed to retrieve a person by this name. Do you think one of yours might have come across her at any point?
He kind of thinks this is funny you should mention. Yeah, that one's been giving us a bit of a trouble. We've got her squared away so that she stops rabble rousing. We've got, we've done the old rally the locals, press them into service, get as much of the coal out of the ground as you can kind of thing. And she is but she was giving us a lot of trouble. So she's been sort of squirreled away. We'll talk when you get here about that.
Can't wait to see you. I'll skedaddle before 5 of your shipmates decide to ask, how do you know that one? And he flips off before more questions can be asked, and switches back to default language and his default dandiness. Okay, well, I got you into the port. Your aunt seems to be locked away somewhere. It doesn't seem like they've taken her out.
Such a strange language.
All languages are strange.
I appreciate jury rigging, but that's a mess.
So we go in, we save as many people as possible quietly, and if you have to make an explosions, you can, while I'm safely not in explosion range. If
You
that
said
works.
they're on a boat.
Yes.
Explosions can happen anywhere.
Perfect.
So, something I want to mention, sort of as a result of that conversation. What they are expecting is Grant to come in with like maybe a truck with some cargo. They are not expecting a gigantic machine of iron and steam. That is not what they are expecting. So that if they see a gigantic steam rig coming their way, that might change the situation. Just something to note about what the expectations from that conversation are that you were able to establish. I would not think that there would be any version of that conversation that would that would get them to expect a Norwegian steam rig coming into view. So just setting expectations as to what you've established.
I will say either way, they're a little bit softened up. So their guard is not completely up, that someone's been listening in and they're not running back and forth. You're like, expect for like a bunch of people coming through and like firing stuff like that. Like we still have
you were able to kind of like explain that little blip before,
right?
As like you were trying to get in touch with them. So yeah, they're not expecting. The one thing that they are now expecting is Grant coming in with some contraband. Anything else will be a surprise to them.
So I got a proposition for you guys. It's beautiful. It's got lies. It's got explosions.
You want to blow them up.
I want to blow the boat. I want to blow the boat under the cover of you're coming in with some contraband medical supplies. And as we have previously established in this continuity, nitroglycerin is often used for heart problems. But it's also highly explosive. So what we're going to do, this is my proposition to the whole group, and you can say yes, you can say no, but I'm going to tell you this is the best fucking boom we'll ever have, is we come into your vehicle. I prepare a package of medical supplies, and you smuggle it onto the boat. We get Auntie out with some lies and deceptions. That's not important. What's important is that the lies exist. Anyway, they take your package, they get out on the thing, boop, 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 time explosion, boom. Isn't that beautiful?
Can I assure everyone who's not in the core group out? Like they don't need
this is a command meeting.
Okay. I want to take off whatever like regalia I have that denotes me as lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, whatever we decide, I will take responsibility for.
Yeah.
If we decide we need to do extra explosions, I am fine with that.
Okay, good. I'm prepared for that. Extra explosions.
I have a timer right here.
You're beautiful, guys. I love you. Every time. You have what I need.
While they're doing their explosive thing, I could be working on getting your family and other associates and friends to safety, as it were, seeing as she's currently a hostage or possible hostage. I don't know her official condition, just know that they have her.
Yeah, what you gathered from that is that there's definitely a mercenary crew or pirate crew that has moved into this village, probably gotten all of like the able-bodied people there and pressed them into mining to get a sizable load of condensed coal out of this local deposit, and that Rem's aunt was causing trouble for them, and she
Yeah,
has
she
been
does.
like incarcerated, put somewhere else where she can't rabble rouse. So let's clarify what your guys' plan is. So you are going to stop the rig, probably nearby in a nearby village. Get your hands on a vehicle. Basically make some contraband that is in fact a bomb. You're going to drive from where you get the vehicle to the port town where all this is happening, and sneak the bomb onto the ship.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, try and figure out where Remzant is.
That
What's
is the
the worst
proposal
that could
currently
happen?
on the table. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other aspects to this plan that you guys are working on now, or is everything else going to be improvised in the thing? Because there is stuff going on that, you know, your superiors would want you to do something about and communicate back to. This is an invasion of the sovereign space.
Why do I care? I'm a conscript.
I mean, you
Trying to
may
form
not
a
care,
union.
but there is a chain of command that has expectations of you.
Yes, but there are other people that are paid to care about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I open the floor to them.
Yeah. That's why we took off the lieutenant as a whole simple thing. Like right now, we are not going in as lieutenant. If we make it out alive, then we'll be like, hey, sorry I didn't talk to you. You should know we're being invaded. That's
Okay.
tomorrow's
All right.
problem.
All right.
That could be a big problem.
Our priorities are being set.
Yeah.
Here. Understood. All right. So, yeah, you are able to consult the maps fairly easily. You find basically a village nearby where you can bring the rig to a stop. In the meantime, you guys probably have the most resources for building a bomb here. So I will need to have one person make a science roll. And I would also need a technology roll to concoct the explosives and build this bomb.
I'm quite good with either of those.
I'm not sure. I got maybe one.
Let me see here. Yeah, no, you don't have any technology or science.
Oh, okay. Well then, that's fine. I'll let my beloved cogs here figure it out. Second only to my dearly departed husband.
Sure. So you can make those rolls.
Cog starts working at the bomb with far too many hammer blows, and both watching. But yeah, he seems to
I'm
know
excited.
what he's doing.
Oh my! 3,
5 hits.
5 hits. Okay, so that was for technology or for science?
That was for the science. First.
Okay, so yeah, you mix up all of the concoctions. You get everything that you're going. You have sort of the core explosives. Now you're going to need to put this into a bomb. Now, also, and like I said, because I know none of you have larceny, there is going to need a larceny roll to be made to conceal this so that it looks like not a bomb. I will say, you guys have more than just yourselves. Probably someone on your crew has this skill set.
Yeah.
But it will probably need some manner of persuasion to rope one of your lower ranking crewmates into this off the books, not ordered mission.
Old Slippery Pete could do this. I know it.
I'll have to do more work. Fine.
So is it going to come from the envoy or the captain?
It would be the captain because the captain has chain of command, but the captain has essentially issued his chain of command. So
All right. So you are delegating to your envoy to try and convince someone.
If you're willing, yeah.
We've gone rogue. I love
A little
that.
bit rogue. A little bit rogue. I mean, you are propelling the invasion by blowing up the ship, but
he is just gonna go down the lower end the decks because he's looking for the shiftiest person, and that person is probably not going to be he's going to look like they're working, but most likely doing something shifty on the side, drinking with someone.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you look fine. You find someone you find basically someone doing kind of impromptu quartermaster role. Since there was a lot of resources that just got kind of pulled out of the engineering bay, you find someone like doing the books, and you think you recognize the chicanery of someone taking advantage of the situation to maybe reallocate some things. You detect what you believe is a shady individual on the crew.
As flamboyant as he is, he's kind of like slides into the scene behind this person. Flowers for petals are following behind him as he slides into the scene for some reason. It just leans in. What you doing? That's fun.
Oh well, I'm just doing the quartermaster role here. You know, I'm cog here. I did some. I understand you're working on some sort of operation here, so I just figured I'd do an inventory.
Listen, I know what it looks like when you're not really doing the work you're supposed to be doing, and you know what it looks like when you're doing the work you're not supposed to be doing. So why don't you make it easier for the both of us and help me on a little project?
All right, give me a persuasion roll.
You're going to believe in Dante's ability to yes.
Oh my, okay, yeah. You lay out the scenario. You make it clear that it's in this person's best interest to cooperate with whatever it is that's going on here. The captain's taken off their epaulets. The steam ring has stopped. What's going on? Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. But you make it clear that it's in their best interest to help you out with this little side project, and this little indiscretion doesn't need to be further discussed. So yeah, she comes up with you. How'd that technology roll go to put the bomb together? I believe Cogs was making that roll.
Yeah. I'm just throwing advice. Like,
Yes,
we should throw some glitter in just for the
let me look at it. That is. Oops. 5 again. 5.
Excellent. Yeah, you put all these dangerous materials, some nitroglycerin, some like treated condensed coal, some various igniters and whatnot, and you put it together into a very like compact, but what you believe will blow a hole in a ship. Whatever depends on the size of the ship, but a hole will be blown in whatever ship this bomb is put into, which will ruin whatever's day, definitely. And this quartermaster comes up with Dante, looks at what you got, kind of gives you the side eye, and says like, "So you need me to conceal a bomb then?"
You say conceal a bomb. I say help us deliver, liberation. And he's using all the words that everyone else has used earlier. You would be doing such a great service, and you also promised to help me without asking any more questions.
Certainly, I just wanted to clarify what we were doing here. So yeah, she starts to pull some other materials, starts to kind of like build a box around it.
Don't touch that wire.
Like noted, thank you. Please let me know if I'm about to kill us all. Yeah, she sort of like carefully constructs a container for the bomb that will like cushion it, make sure that it doesn't like accidentally get jostled. Like you can open the lid of it, and like she throws in like she says we're probably going to need some like a layer of contraband to make it look like there's stuff in here.
Aren't we lucky? I was at a bridal. I was at a wedding bridal hen party thing last night. It's fine. Anyway, here's the bride's bag. There's,
Oh,
there's
all right.
glitter in there. There's makeup. There's
all right, luxury items.
drugs.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
Things.
she
It's great.
she constructs like a false bottom, false top, and like layers in some whatnot. She calls in some favors from other crew members, and you get like bottles of liquor and other illicit substances, so that it makes it look like when you open it, it's just packed with smugglables. In the meantime, you guys have stopped the steam rig, and there's a nearby village. Someone needs to be on the task of finding and commandeering a vehicle.
I vote that it's not me.
I can help with that.
All right. So yeah, this, like I said, this is a small village. There's a lot of farmland nearby. You're able to walk into town. I'd say that some sort of role would have been needed to hide like the gigantic steam rig from this village, but there's no feasible way that would be done. So yeah, there's a bit of a commotion kind of in the town square, as people are just kind of gathering and pointing at your gigantic machine of industry and battle. And so are you coming into town with your uniform on, or how are you presenting yourself as you walk into this town?
I left the uniform on the steam rig.
Okay.
I am going to introduce myself as like Lieutenant Pilot Rem. I was piloting that. I apologize to bother you, but I'm a native here, and like we are in trouble. Village down the road is under attack. I need your help to protect them, and in essence, protect you as well.
Okay. Depending on sort of how much of your sort of military bearing and authority you want to call on here,
As much of it as I still
so
have.
you would need to make a leadership role.
Okay.
To really like put the screws to these people and come and make an official commandeering request of them.
4 hits.
4 hits. Okay. Yeah, they are. These people are awed by a military officer walking into their town. You tell them pretty much the truth, and after a bit of back and forth, one of the farmers goes over, gets his kind of he says, at the low price of asking to offload the remainder of his crops to the farmers market.
Oh yeah, done.
He says like, all right, yeah, no, we'll offload the crops, and you can borrow the vehicle. We'd love it. I mean, we'd love it to have back, but if this is something of national security, I understand if things happen.
Can I get your name?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Yeah, you get his name.
I don't want to like try to remember that because assuming I'm not just like court-martialed and kicked out.
Yeah, assuming you're not. I mean,
I want to be able to like send them another truck or something because like
gotcha.
They are like aiding in national security. So
they are absolutely. All right, yeah. So you get the keys to this basically farm truck, and are able to drive it back to the steam rig where the final touches of this contraband / bomb are being put into place.
Glitter.
Yeah, so you get the crew there, and you guys are ready to head off down the country road up to the port. What, if anything, are you going to say to like the rest of the crew that is staying behind?
Your job is to protect the steam rig. If someone calls, you answer the phone, do the contact. If they ask where the captain is, you don't know because I'm not telling you where I'm going. As I told the crew in the captain's meeting, I will take responsibility for what happens tomorrow.
All right. Give me a presence leadership roll to see how well the crew is going to respond to these unorthodox orders.
And can I use chain of command now?
You absolutely can use chain of command.
Yes, that is necessary.
So that'll reduce the cost of the persuade trick, which I will bring into effect.
5 hits.
Oh boy, yeah. You sell it. You sell it to the crew. That this seems a little weird, but the captain, the pilot lieutenant, knows what he's doing and has everything underhand. All right, so yeah, you are able to load up the command crew into the commandeered farm truck. And yeah, you are back in your back. You know these lands, you know these roads, like you know where to go.
This is I was just saying, this is probably the first time most of you have seen Cogs outside of the rig.
Yeah, the harsh light of day hitting. He's
got a very uneven gait because right now he's wearing one really tall-soled boot on one foot and no footwear on the
other. So as you guys pile up into the truck and start making your way up the country road, we will take a short break and we will return in about 10 minutes.
Right.
See you guys soon. All right, we are back for Trinity Continuum Steam Wars. Once again, this is Onyx Path Con. If you wish to celebrate and take advantage of the sale that is going on, I'm about to do a link to that in the chat here. And also, we are Onyx Path is partnered up with Start Playing to be running Onyx Path games through that site, specifically during the con. And our charitable partner is the Badana Group, which is doing great work with gaming-based therapeutic and charity efforts. So please, if you can spare some donations, the links to all of that are now in the Twitch chat. So when last we left our steampunk heroes of the Norwegian government, when confronted with the fact that a village has essentially been taken over by a band of mercenaries who may or may not be employed by the British government, they just might be thieves. That knowledge is unclear. Has taken over a village, pressed gang the local inhabitants into quickly doing a rush job of extracting as much condensed coal out of a locally recently discovered deposit. Confronted with this knowledge, they have decided to stop their giant mech, get a truck, build a bomb, sneak onto their ship and blow it up, while hopefully rescuing our captain's aunt, who is a local leader, who apparently has been isolated from the population because she's causing trouble. Right. So, yes, you guys are loading up the truck. You have access to the armory and stores in the steam ring, as well as the village that you are parked by. What are you guys taking with you onto the truck?
I'm taking my personal collection of explosives.
Okay. Yeah, you're just loading up on explosives. There's plenty to be had on the ship. The ship, plenty of rounds that you can, and artillery rounds that you can get the explosive material out of. And
my beautiful coffee supplied by the lovely Cogs.
Awesome, brilliant. Awesome.
Love them to death. And also whatever is left in this bride suitcase that I absconded with while I was leaving the bachelorette party.
Sure thing.
Yeah. And my lovely, yes,
we have lost our captain, it seems.
Oh no.
Hold on.
The bomb went off too early.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Captain.
Well, we'll go. Well, I see he's typing. What about our envoy Dante? Is there anything that you are getting either from the rig or from the local village?
Putting on like the padded like armor, like not the fancy stuff, because there's probably not fancy stuff anything around, but like the stuff that like just in case you get slashed, you get bashed, you get shot at, you have some sort of protection on.
Okay, so yeah, you get a basically a suit of reinforced clothing, kind of basically.
Yeah. He's also getting some alcohol.
All right.
Getting it nice and spiked with something a little bit more sending some folks to the upper room, as it were. Just like, sometimes he's just talking to the rest of his crewmates. Sometimes some people ask too many questions and you don't want them to track that back to you. Sometimes you don't want them to tell other people about romantic nights on the beach under a rig. Sure.
So what you're going for is like some knockout, or are you trying to make them ill? Or are you trying to like kill them? What's the
whatever works?
Whatever. Okay, you're throwing some like random like oils and whatnot. And okay, noted. What about cogs? Anything? What are you getting out from the stores of the village?
Yeah, you definitely would want some kind of reinforced clothing of some kind, a little bit of
Okay.
protection. And then can I bring some kind of like ridiculous blunderbuss looking
Yeah, absolutely. You can
rifle or device of some kind?
yeah, you can bring well, it wouldn't be a blunderbuss. It would be like a bolt action rifle. Would be
Okay.
the um thing. And we have our captain pilot back. Hello.
Hello.
What, if anything, would you be loading up into the truck from the rig or trying to acquire from the village? Oh, captain, my captain.
So I do think some sort of like, armor reinforced
Yeah.
clothing, whatever that is. And I want to get, I think, a bayonet because there
Okay.
is a fairly good chance that they'll see me and they'll be like, hey, he looks like the people who live here. And also, he doesn't speak English. Hijack him. So I want to at least I could take the knife off so I could be like, oh no, I'm not doing anything. And then stabby.
Okay, so you basically want a knife.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem. All right, so is anyone else gonna be taking, like, you've got explosives, you've got a bayonet, you've got a rifle. Is anyone else gonna be taking a weapon? All right, cool.
Can I give him a weapon?
You guys have you guys all have access to like the armory that's on the rig, which is stocked with basically all of the personal armaments that are listed in the book.
All right, so to this envoy, you don't have a weapon, babes.
I have never shot a gun in my entire life. My dad took me hunting one time, and I accidentally took a part of his ear off, so I was banned from guns ever since then.
This is beautiful. Now, I've got something for you.
Obviously, you need a flamethrower. Sorry.
Yeah. Could I interest you in this flamethrower? It's very easy to use. The
looks
name
heavy.
is right there on the can. It throws flames. So just point it at the thing that you want dead and turn it on. It's that simple.
Sure. He picks it up. This seems heavy.
It is
Yeah,
quite
that's
heavy
good.
and unwieldy and incredibly dangerous. You could
That's
also just
okay.
give him a revolver.
Revolvers don't explode things.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true.
He's just gonna put
I
it.
could take the flamethrower.
Oh, yeah, you
just
can take the flamethrower.
hands this flamethrower. You know what, Cogs? You might do this wonderfully. It looks great with your outfit. I need to get you another boot.
How about a
yes.
shotgun?
I found one.
All right.
You know what?
so-
I'll take the revolver. He just puts it in his coat lapel. All right.
All righty. All right. So yeah, you guys load up, arm up. Any other kind of like incidental things that you would be able to pick up from the village? We've got some spiked liquor. We've got arms aplenty. Anything that anyone could think of that they might want to have on hand.
Grappling hook and rope.
Yeah, you get a grappling hook. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do pull the captain to the side. Hypothetically, while one of us is negotiating, schmoozing, and making sure that the bomb is on the ship while the other two handle the more delicate for them role, if possible, and there was another rig that you just happened to commandeer, I think our upper level of command might be a little bit more appreciative.
Hypothetically, if there were another rig, there would be many tactical reasons to commandeer it.
Exactly. Especially with an explosion, I mean, we would have to leave and we wouldn't have a vehicle to leave out. And what about the people who are trying to escape? They would need some sort of backup.
I'll keep that in mind,
Right.
Dante.
So you guys load up, you're geared up, and you can get on the road. Now, Rem, you have two options at your disposal. You know the roads that are leading into this town. You can take a road that's pretty much direct to the village. It's sort of the main thoroughfare that connects like the village that you're in to the village that you're going to up on the coast. Or there's a more roundabout road that will take you closer to where you have this intel about this condensed coal deposit. It'll take you by that. I mean, it's not directly by it. It's kind of like
Okay.
So those are the two routes that you will need to take one of them because of the nature of space and time.
So
yeah.
I will toss the idea to the crew, to the party. Hey, what if we take a slightly longer route, just swing by the where the coal deposit is? They should know that Dante is bringing something. We can see what's going on and maybe, potentially let some people free, assuming it's possible. If not, we could just go straight, get a lay of the land. How do y'all feel about that? We don't have to do that. We could just go straight, no, do not pass go.
You need to be like our friend Dante here and embrace the lie. You're the captain. You're leading this mission. Just say, we're gonna go here. And maybe
when I took off my lieutenant's badge, I no longer was a captain. We're all like playing with explosives in a way that we still all enjoy, but it's very different. And so I'm trying to embrace that like change in power. If y'all don't care, we'll just go this way.
We'll follow you. We're all on board the mission to explode boats and also maybe this coal mine.
And I get paid either way.
Yeah.
You've come a long way from running from explosions. I'm very happy for you.
Yeah.
That was not sarcasm. That was like actual like I'm like so happy for you that you're like on board Team Explosion now.
You think I'm going to stay near the explosion? Oh no. But I like your confidence.
There is no near explosion. It's just all explosion.
It's all explosion.
It's all explosion. As dark as it is, I'm happy. I feel like we like our family expanded a little bit. We have a new like explosion lover.
All right. So which path are you going to take? Which road are we
path past the coal mine.
Okay, you pass the coal mine. All right. So you are driving this truck. It's not hard. It's a truck. It's a road. Are you kind of like gunning it? Are you going at like a more of a normal pace? Like what's the speed that we're going at?
Rem does have 4 composure, so he will go at a normal pace because while he is trying to save people, we're also transporting a massive bomb meant to blow up a ship. So
that is in fact a thing that is true.
Yeah, so we'll just, it's still a truck. We'll go at a normal.
Okay, you're going at a normal pace, which does not jostle the pretty massive explosive device that you have cobbled together. So about 45 minutes go by, and you begin to see kind of off in the horizon, around where you expect this deposit is off the road. You see smoke, probably billowing forth from mining equipment like motorized trucks, things that you would associate with a pretty sizable effort. You see off in the distance, kind of off like this very, very like hastily constructed, cleared path. You see another truck turn off onto the main road that you are on, laden with, it's a heavily laden, like obviously there's a pretty heavy load of this coal in it, covered by a tarp. You can see that there are armed figures like hanging off the back of the truck, with like rifles. and like they are like surveying. You see like one of them has like a pair of binoculars surveying the land, and eventually, because this is just sort of an open road, they swing by and you see them looking at you. But you're driving casually. It's not unexpected to see a truck driving down this road, so they don't like stop or anything because they have their own shit to do. But you know that this person in this truck has seen you.
Yep.
So yeah, you are driving past. You are approaching the road that leads off to this coal mine. What are you gonna do?
Just as we're passing, just kind of take the like survey what's going on. I have a feeling if we like drive in with the massive bomb, that just endangers the chance of the bomb being placed where
Mhm.
it needs to be.
That is true. I mean, yeah, you could try and basically go off road. I mean, the road leading to this place is barely a road, but you could try and like get off road and try and like sneak around, or you could get out of the truck and hoof it.
I mean, I was more concerned with being like, what does this place look like? Like, how many of the townsfolk are in forced labor?
Yeah, I mean, there is a like the road goes down a little bit. I would say that you would be able to have gotten like a pair of binoculars. So hold on a second. Let's do someone would need to make a survival check to kind of survey the area through like a big pair of binoculars.
I have survival. Does anyone else have more than 2?
0.
I will take the giant binoculars then.
Okay.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Yeah. So give me a it's going to be a survival roll. I would say probably cunning would be the most appropriate attribute to pair up with it, unless you want to sell me on another one.
Oh, I'll take the cunning. I don't
Okay.
really have any more genius that can be in my brain right now at this present moment. But we'll work on it. Let's see. That's yeah. I gotta go in and do the thing where it's these different.
Yeah, it's going to be / SPU for the dice bot.
Yeah. These newfangled devices. The kids have.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh,
Damn.
that's pretty good.
Nice. Oh, that's a very good roll. Yeah. So
there we
you
go.
post up, you get the binoculars, you focus in, and you're able to kind of see through some of the haze and the smoke to get a good look at what is going on. So this is the deposit is sort of part of a small hill that is off in the distance.
I'll relay this to the group.
You see that there was already what appears to be like just like a very preliminary like mining structure already set up. Like the note had said that they had recently discovered this and they had just started to build some infrastructure to exploit this deposit. So that's there. There's also a very like hastily like ramshackle built penned in structure that has people in it. You see armed guards around there. There's sort of a rotation of people being taken from this penned in area to the mine. Essentially, they are, from what you can tell, they are working. They are just using like this group of about 50 people, working them to exhaustion, replacing them with the people, like letting them get like a little bit of rest, and then like it's a constant rotation of people going in and out of the mine, working at a breakneck pace to get the coal out of the ground, move it into the truck, and like there's another truck there, waiting to take a load, and move it down to the port. That is the setup that you see. So there's about 10 mercenaries here with guns that seem to be like manning this place, and about 50-ish people that you can see.
Okay.
We should start a union here. Do you think your aunt would be interested in organizing a union? Because I think that would benefit these people greatly.
I think she would.
Okay, good. We'll work on that later. Anyway, that's what I see.
Okay. They sure have a lot of coal. Would be a shame if something happened to the boat they were going to use to transport it away.
Yeah.
I'll just start driving to the dock.
Okay.
While we're driving,
Mm-hmm.
I want to start to ramble.
Okay.
In a way that is like more rambling than I've ever done. And I want to ramble until we get there with like, as we get closer to the dock, I start to actually make sense. And I would like to use my rally the troops action.
Okay.
In order to give my team, to make my team inspired,
Mm-hmm.
which I think like gives them +3 enhancement when they do actions that either complete the mission and make it back safely.
Okay. That is good. Yeah, you're able to. Let me just double check the wording on that. Just to make sure. Just rally. That is a good use of that. Let me just double check on that.
All they had to do was listen to me ramble for like 15 minutes.
Well, you have the troops.
Once you stop paying attention to the words, it's very soothing.
Just like let the words like fall on your mind. And
I feel a little better. I don't like the outside. There's too much.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So basically, you guys have a generic +3 enhancement for fulfilling this mission. Which let's define the parameters of this mission.
right. Mission is getting bomb on boat, rescuing people from the English, and making it out safely, because that is part of the mission. Like, we love explosions. We don't want to be in the explosion. Am I forgetting any parts of the mission?
There's your aunt.
I think I'm counting her as people, because like,
Okay.
while she is my priority,
Mm-hmm.
we're still coming here to protect like the entire village from this like incursion.
Sure. So I will say, you don't exactly know where she is.
Right.
Like,
and
she could be back at the mine.
Right. Like, we didn't check that. We didn't check for her. But I know that if like we get many people off the boat and then blow the boat up, they're not getting anywhere. And then it's just like bopping people until we find her.
Yeah. Well, another thing, you don't know if they're like planning on taking these people with them. Like, you don't know how extensive this, let's just call it what it is, slavery operation.
Right.
You don't know how like long-term that thing, they might just be like using them to get the coal and then leaving. You don't know if they're like bringing them onto the boat.
Which is why explosion is best, assuming we can like look through the boat to make sure no one's there, because like, if we get people off and the boat's gone, whatever their plans were, they need to change it.
So the plan as it is get the bomb onto the boat, get basically any civilians, any people who are on the boat who you don't want to blow up off of said boat.
Yes.
So any task that is directly applicable to that goal, to those goals, will get +3 enhancement, which is pretty cool. All right, so you drive down the road and begin to see the town. As you do so, you begin to detect a slight rumbling in the ground as sort of coming around a bend, coming up sort of over the declination of the land. You see a steam rig starting to come from the village up the same road that you are driving in. Now this is a roundabout class steam rig, so it is not the big towering ones that you were just operating. This is like 2 to 3 man crew, like sizable when dealing with it from like you on the ground, but it is the smallest class of steam rig. It is really like a built for recon, built for speed. It does have armaments on it. It does have like a big machine gun on it. But it is just like ka-chung, 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 running up the road. What are you gonna do?
I got an idea.
You're not sure what its intent is. You don't know if it's coming for you or if it's just going back to the mine.
But it's not one of ours.
It's not one of yours. No, it is. It is.
Okay.
It is.
This does not change my idea.
It is very like cobbled together. It doesn't have any like national insignias on it. It looks like a brigand operation.
I love this. We're gonna dig up the road. And by dig up, I mean explode it.
Okay. So how are you going to go about doing this? And does anyone have anything to say about this plan?
Is there like a culvert or something under the road? Maybe a bridge that's gonna pass?
No, this is a pretty open road. Like it is so like it is coming it's coming up from this coastal village. So there's a little bit of inclination that it's coming up. Like you guys are kind of like pretty much in a flat area. So, but as the land starts to dip down to the ocean, it is sort of coming up this incline.
Okay.
So
anyway, my plan is just to blow up the road. Okay,
so your gunner is proceeding to like get some of their explosives ready to go.
Excitedly.
Is anyone else commenting on that on this happenstance?
How may I assist?
Okay.
Oh, I love working with you, Con. Okay, so what I need to figure out is the best place to put these bombs so that it explodes in a way that we can still navigate the road, because we're on a truck and that's much bigger than us. So we need to clear a path that's narrow enough for us to travel through, but still too big or too small for him to walk on.
I have an equation for that.
You know you're too big. You're so perfect.
If someone wants to make me an enigmas roll to kind of come up with the logistics of this plan.
Sure. Intellect?
Sure.
I think it's Can I support him in any way?
Yeah, you can do the team. You can do the teamwork action, which is I will say this is not directly related to the plan of getting the bomb onto the boat.
Right.
So this won't get the inspiration, the enhancement from the inspired status. But you can grant I would say you can grant a level of enhancement to his role on this.
I will grant a level of enhancement. I would also like to ask if we might be able to use some of our copious momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. What you can do is you can do the bolster stunt, which is you can spend momentum to basically apply enhancement to a roll.
Oh, nice.
So if we could just use one of those points.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's a thing that you can do.
Are we all good with this?
Yeah, we got like
Yeah.
what, 6?
I rolled 1 hit.
Okay.
And then we got the enhancement for the helping and what enhancement for the momentum.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 hits.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah, working out the trajectory of it and basically like, wanting to make sure that you can like use this road, and wanting to like put it in a way that like they don't see it coming is actually what you want to do is you want to put it behind you so that you can drive past it, and then trigger the explosion when it passes the explosion. Is probably going to be the most effective because this is like a pretty open road. If you want to actually do damage to the rig, you want to get it in the blast radius.
I don't necessarily want to damage the rig because then we can't steal it later.
Okay. But what you will be doing then is essentially, if you don't want to damage the rig, if you just want to blow up the road, you can absolutely do that. But that's still like your best option because that means you will have passed the rig, and it will be a bit less difficult for it to turn around and then begin shooting at you.
Right.
It will probably happen eventually when they figure out, oh, someone put a bomb here.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be difficult for it to go forward, but not go back towards y'all.
Right.
In fact, if anyone wants to make a leadership roll to kind of assess the tactical viability of this plan, see what like wider pitfalls you might encounter by doing this.
I'll do a leadership roll.
All right,
Leadership and cunning.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
I am not hired to be smart. I am hired to explode things.
Mm-hmm.
3 hits.
3 hits. This tips your hand. This starts conflict before you are anywhere near the boat. This begins a shooting. This begins the shooting. They have wireless communications.
Right.
Even if you deal with this rig, this will add complication upon complication of the plan.
Do we have remote controls?
Yes, I will say you do have like a remote detonator for the big bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Because presumably you don't want to be on the boat when it explodes.
Ideally not.
But yeah, I would definitely say that y'all could have like some minor like shortwave explosive detonators.
Would it be possible to stick with the knowledge, the research that we've done to figure out the best place to put the bomb?
Mm-hmm.
Drop the bomb, but like have it be a remote one so we don't pop it until things inevitably pop off, and then we can like kind of prevent that thing from coming back to get us?
Sure. Yeah, that probably would be a better plan than doing it right now. You can set that situation up, and blow it at some later time.
It would
Look, a delayed explosion is just an explosion for the future.
Yeah, setting up more happiness to come.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I will say that like as this thing is kind of trundling up, you guys are able to quickly put the bomb like in like a divot in the road such that it will like make it a lot harder. Now, there is still like open land around the road. So this will probably prevent it from using the road, but it still could move around the divot and have like difficult terrain to get around.
Right.
It's not 100% stopgap, but it is a delaying tactic,
which is what we really want.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to set that bomb up, get back in the truck before you think you're spotted, and are able to you sort of like get out of the way, you get off the road a little bit as the thing sort of trundles past. And it does not directly, it does not cost you at the moment. It seems to be going back to that mine site. Which is you're thinking that something like your truck is expected, and so you're not getting like directly accosted by these people just yet.
Right.
So yeah, it passes by you. It heads up back to the mine area, and you guys move on to the port. As you get closer to the village, you can see that as you sort of drive through the village, going closer to the actual dock area, you can see that the village has been like shot up. Like there are signs of gunfire. You see that like the big big pole that has the telegraph wire has been like cut down, and the wires have been cut. So it is a like physical disconnection from like the national communication grid. You see that there's kind of there's a truck with about as you're sort of passing by and getting up to the dock area, there's a truck parked next to like the town hall. And there are 4 armed guards there. And you see that they're like out in the yard, like some of the children are just kind of like very nervously kind of running around, just like getting out energy under the watchful eyes of these guards. You see some of the elderly are also sort of there, like tending to it, but they are all there concentrated in this town hall. Like you don't see anyone anywhere else in the village. So you see like the elderly and the young have been like kind of put in the town hall, and they have these 4 guys with guns watching them. So you pass by that, and you eventually get to the docking area that has been, it has something more of like an impromptu encampment set up in the entrance to like the docking area. Some like hastily put up barbed wire, some barricades, a gate that can be like swung open, and there is like a checkpoint. There is a group of about 5 armed soldiers at the entrance to the docking area, posted up. Which you can. How are you going to approach that entrance? How are you getting up to this docking area?
Dante said we were coming, so I assume I'm just gonna pull up and then let Dante do the talking.
Sure thing. So you pull up. You as you approach, you do see that the soldiers, the mercenaries there, do kind of like bring their weapons up. They don't like point them at you, but they all bring them up at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
If the camera cuts back to Dante, for some reason Dante's outfit has changed. It looks more like working class, somewhat merc. Like he looks somewhat shady, still has that pizzazz about him, but he's a shady individual. Kind of leans over the captain. Fellas, hi. Definitely in American English.
American English, yeah. So one of the guys comes up to the he stops in front of the car, like looks as you kind of like leaning over, like kind of gives you like, do you want me to come around, or who am I talking to here?
Hey, he leans over.
Yeah.
Hi.
Grant?
Garth, but
Garth?
Grant's
whatever.
fine too. Yeah.
All right. Who are these people? Who are these motherfuckers?
These motherfuckers are my assistants.
Well, we weren't told. We weren't right told about any no assistance.
Well, I got to get a package in here. Told him it was a big package. Got to put it on the thing. And listen, all right, I got a condition that can't really do a lot of lifting and all that stuff. You know how it is. Looking at you, you ain't doing that much lifting yourself either. So, like, you should understand my situation as well.
So you got a bit of the fop then, don't you? Well,
Listen,
what you talking about? We're the salty dogs are all hardy fellows. We can do all the lifting we want, but I'm not sure we're going to do any for you.
I know. That's why I was asking. You know who to go get. All right. And he puts a tenner, a 10-pounder in his pocket.
All right. You can make me a persuasion roll. And I will definitely say that this is your inspired condition applies because you're trying to get the bomb on the boat.
Yay, rambling.
Ooh. So that's a 4, 5, 6, so 7.
7 hits. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, you sweet talk this guy. You pull out like a 10-pound British sterling note from somewhere. Put it in his hand. He's like, all right. He says, you can come on past. Red Eye's expecting you at the dock at the marina entrance at the what do I call it? It's a building where there are docks.
I gotcha.
So he says he takes the 10-pound, motions them to open the gate from the inside. And the gate slides open for you, and you are able to roll on in. So it's a like I said, it's a very rustic, fisherman's dock. That has a pretty sizable, but very kind of ramshackle older boat. That has been it's occupying all of the space of the bay and the marina.
Mm-hmm.
There are it's moved aside some of the docks so that it can fit in, so that its loading ramp can come off and be put on the ground. It has done horrific damage to this marina to get it in. You see that that truck that you saw before is here, and the people who are on the truck are in the process of taking the last bits of the coal from the truck, putting it onto carts, and rolling it up the ramp. And sort of off to the side, there is kind of the marina administrative building, where you were told Red Eye is expecting you.
Okay. While we're going up there, ever so often, Garth or Grant is taking off an item of clothing and is shifted on to one of his compatriots has slapped on a kind of like a flat cap onto cogs and has placed a pair of American style leather boots where he's sitting at. Has kind of tossed that jacket that he had on, has tossed it over on the captain. And then he slides over the pair of goggles. He's commandeered back over to Burns.
My goggles. Thank you. Hang on.
All right. So since you're around me, you're Americans. So the thing you're going to do is you're going to have an attitude, not say a word, and not look anyone directly in the eye. Just if you do, just give them a scowl, grunt a bit, and keep on to your work.
Cogs practices spitting in a surly manner.
Yes,
Perfect.
as all Americans do. All right, so you guys are clear to come in. You guys can park the truck, and there's this marina building that you're directed to.
Yeah.
So you guys head in. Are all of you going in? Like, you going in as a group, or who is anyone staying with the truck?
I can.
You'll stay with the
Stay
truck?
with the truck?
I can stay. I don't
Okay.
need to be with the bomb as much as I love it.
Well, staying with
I
the
can-
truck is staying with the bomb, because
Then I'll stay with the bomb because I love it.
there you go. All right.
My precious darling. And I can
so-
give people mean looks from back there.
Awesome. So Bernie is staying with the truck, and Cogs, Dante, and Rem are heading into the marina.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You head in. There's about there's 3 men in here, with 2 men and 1 woman, who are all just kind of like like the woman is on a the shortwave wireless, talking on it. One of the men is looks like he's doing like inventory of the coal. He's like jotting down numbers, like maintaining a running inventory as the coal comes in, doing like paperwork. And then sitting in kind of like the big chair is someone that you, Dante, you do recognize. This is the guy that you played cards with. This is the guy that you had a night with. This is Red Eye, such as he's got a pretty sort of rough leather jacket on, sea boots, and a bright red patch over one eye. And he looks up at you as you come in and says, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's who I thought was here. What's that?" I think he gets out of the truck and like goes to like put a hand out.
Oh, definitely takes it, but does that asshole thing of like dominant hand, a little too rough, it's like covering the hand, the smaller hand. Done that whole greeting.
Mm-hmm.
Red Eye. Now I know I missed that face from anything. It's a face that only a mother and me can love.
Well, at least there's 2 then, huh?
Yeah. It just not missing a beat has taken out like 2 glasses, has poured from the poison bottle. 2 glasses, has sat it down in front of like the guy taking inventory and in front of the lady on the radio. From his other flask, like poured out 2 shots, one for himself, one for Red Eye. So, walk with me, talk with me. Shipment. You look like you're running a good shipment yourself.
Oh yeah. We were heard tell there was a deposit of the gold coal, as it were. The stuff that everyone and their dog are after these days. So yeah, we're just we're getting it out as fast as we could and hightailing it before any of these Dutch mothers come calling.
Yeah.
So you got something you need loaded up on our ship, huh?
A mutual of our 2 operations also was asking for a few contraband that we had that I ended up with. Long story short, apparently my luck runs out. People ask questions, and they just love my smooth face, and they just figured, you know what? You're already halfway there. You might as well drop off some stuff.
All right. So your ship didn't come in. Okay. All righty. Then okay, let's talk here. So obviously, there's going to be a space is going to be at a premium here. We're packing in as much as we can. We got the runabout that we gotta load up. We've got to we've got. Oh God, I am doing terrible with this accent. I'm trying to go New York and it's not right. But anyway, yeah. So we got space is pretty much the premium. How big are we looking at here?
Oh, small box, and he's pouring from the other bottle, the same one he passed over to the other ones. Listen, it's not that big. It's a medium size. It's not going to be like a ton of trouble. And he's putting like American dollars and also pounds onto the table as well while he's watching this man drink. And he's just like, listen, It's not going to be like someone's going to look for it. I already have the numbers correctly where they need to be. I got you, baby. You already know that how I work is legit. Well, I mean smuggling, but like as legit as one could possibly do it.
All right, I'm gonna need a manipulation and persuasion roll here to seal this deal.
You got it.
Okay.
So while this back and forth is going on, is there anything that Cogs or Rem are going to be doing? Other than just kind of like, yeah, you're doing this bit. Anything going on?
Trying not to slosh the 5 gallons of accelerant into my back too aggressively.
Right, gotcha. Okay. What about Rem? Is Rem going to be trying to get up to anything?
Rem's just watching the remaining 2 because at some point someone's gonna pass out.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like if someone draws a gun, I want to be ready to act.
Okay, so you're just sort of standing at the ready. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
For me, I got 3 10s, a 9, and I want to use, if I can, negotiator.
Absolutely, you can do that. All right. So you spin the bullshit. You go to drive this kind of hard bargain. You drop some names of people who like you can be on the tag on the credit line for, and are able to kind of convince this guy that you can put this box on his ship, and that like he'll be taken care of for the trouble. He's like, all right, okay, let's all right, well, my boys and girls are occupied, so you're gonna have to wheel this thing on yourselves.
You know me. Listen, I can handle my dirty work. I just needed the assistance. Still kept pouring that poor man from that bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing drinking. The people, you're captain. You're watching the people at the thing. The woman at the radio is starting to kind of like you hear her kind of starting to slur her words a little bit. The guy at the doing the inventory is like rubbing his temple a bit. They are definitely starting to get affected by whatever got thrown into this liquor.
Okay.
It's not like having an immediate like they're definitely getting sick.
Right.
But not enough to like make them pass out or start like violently vomiting or anything like that.
Okay.
So it's hasn't crossed that line just yet. All right. This is like, all right, well, you guys got your business. I think, yeah, well, kind of looks and says, we got our own business to take care of.
Yeah.
But you know what? Some of my boys will be just keeping an eye on you.
Like always. It wouldn't be the first time you try to keep your eyes on me. Hell, you can't even keep your eyes off of me.
Well, we'll see when this is all done. Let's deal with business, and then we'll talk about pleasure, right?
All right.
All right, yeah. So yeah, they definitely they let you. The business is concluded, and you are set to get the device on.
And he's like sitting there, like going to the watch, like, yeah, still with the American accent on.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna be too long now for those 3. Now to deal with the others. Hey, just walk back. So, guys, we have to go and deliver the package that we've been instructed to drop off. We've been given permission by Red Eye, and he makes sure everyone can hear that Red Eye gave them strict permission. And
yeah, absolutely.
And he said, make sure nothing gets stolen, valued, or broken, or it will be coming out of your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they kind of
out of your ass. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna need a persuasion roll for that because you have decided to speak up.
From me?
From Bern, yeah, you spoke up.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
You are
to find my
attempting to do
sheet.
I'm assuming you're attempting to do an American accent and just repeating what you said.
I'm just repeating what was said about manipulation and
Manipulation and persuasion.
persuasion. I believe I have both of those.
Yep.
So let me see. That's 4.
Mhm.
I'd like to borrow a momentum or does this count with the plus
yeah, this
3?
is definitely I will say that yes, you failing this will be a significant impediment to the roll. So I will say that this will be inspired.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see this thing. No, it's not soup. It's SPU.
SPU slash SPU.
SPU, not soup. That's and the difference engine says 1.
All right, 1 hits with the 4 enhancement. You get a weird look from the guy who is like coming up with you to accompany you onto the ship. But he kind of like says like, yeah.
He's gonna whisper in, listen, her and her husband got into like the nitrates. It's got bad. It went to his heart, went to her brain.
Oof. All right. Okay. Yeah. So the truck has finished loading up the coal and is like in the process of getting out and heading back through the gate. So this leaves like a window of opportunity for you guys to like commandeer a cart from the dock area and load it up. So you guys, who is manning the cart and like wheeling it up onto the ship?
Suppose I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slosh.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So you're loading it up. It's pretty easy. You guys have concealed it and padded it pretty well. And you guys get on to the ship. I'm gonna need now that you're on the ship, I think what we'll need to do is a technology roll to try and find the best place that is available on the ship to stash this to cause the maximum amount of damage. And in the meanwhile, if anyone wants to give me an empathy roll to attempt to like see if there's anybody on this boat that you don't want blown up.
Just to make sure, how many empathy I have? Because I couldn't tell from the sheet.
Yeah, so the sheet is a little messed up. You have 3 empathy.
Okay. If anybody has more than that,
I think I have 2. So
okay, I can make this roll. This would be empathy and
this will be empathy and cunning.
I think okay.
Yeah, I got 3 hits plus I think what
you'll
3
have
3 enhancements.
So yeah, you're sort of like wheeling through the area and you find a part that's essentially like at the water. It's going to be at the water line, so that it will essentially blow open like a pretty nice, like Lusitania sized hole in this cargo carrier that will incapacitate it and capsize it.
Question: would this count as part of the mission with the enhancements, or
yes? This finding the people that you don't want to blow up is part of the mission.
Okay, so 4 successes.
Okay. So as you guys are like wheeling through, like trying to find the spot, you are able to hear you hear some voices speaking in Dutch, and it's coming from basically the opposite side of the current deck that you're on. The ship, by and large, is pretty empty. because most of the people are dealing with the operation. There's this one guy who is with you, and is sort of minding you.
Right.
But you're not entirely certain who else is currently on this ship, other than this guy that's with you, the voices that you're hearing on the other side of the deck. And you think you hear sort of like in other places farther away, you think you hear like sounds of boots on metal, but you're not able to sort of pinpoint how many or where they are.
And it's just him following us, or it's like him
there's
and
one
like
there's one dude with a gun following you. That's
Okay.
currently like up in your face.
Oh, he's up in my face.
Oh yeah, no, he's like with you and minding the
Right.
group with you.
Gotcha. So I think Dante has kind of like maneuvered himself, not near the gun, but maneuvered himself enough so like he's providing like a buffer between himself and his compadres, so his compadres can go out and do their part of their job. But he's mostly like the male version of like a siren almost,
Okay.
just luring this poor man to his doom. So that's a nice gun. What's your name?
I'm Eddie.
Eddie. Nice. So how in the fuck did Eddie, you're Eddie, right,
I am
get
Eddie.
involved with Red Eye of all people?
I mean, the money's good, you know. He's a good operator, and he, the bounty is nice, you know. Been a couple operations, a couple of smash and grabs and the like, and you know, he keeps me in pounds, you know.
He can keep you in pounds. I could probably keep you in a good few 100 pounds, but like that's neither here nor there. I got stories about myself and Red Eye over there. Probably don't want to hear about it.
Oh, I mean, I'm always one for some gossip, some compromising information, you know. So are you like you're talking to this guy like trying to get him distracted?
Oh, actively distracted. Like I'm like weaving a net around this poor man's brain and just like luring him away from his duties.
Okay, yeah. Give me a manipulation persuasion roll. What about the rest of you? Like you see Dante doing his thing, and you're by this time you have been able to like get the bomb off the cart, put it in the spot that you want it. But you know the expectation of this is that y'all are going to get off this ship post haste after you've dropped off your crew. So what are the rest of you up to while he's having this conversation?
If Dante like has him like fixated,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to the attempt to make it to the other side of the ship to see if there are people there.
Okay, so you're going to try and sneak off.
Assuming he's like,
yeah. I will say with the since this is a part of the roll, I will definitely say you have the enhancement on the roll that you just made, Crow.
Okay.
So I will say that he is firmly distracted enough such that you don't need to make a roll to sneak off.
Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna.
Okay. So yeah, you sneak off. Is anyone else going with him?
I will sneak off with him, both to ensure people get off and also to cause another distraction if needed.
Okay, noted. What about Cogs? Are you just like what are you doing?
I'm too sloshy to sneak, so
okay.
I don't want to endanger their sneaktitude.
Yeah, I'm the one that's supposed to be sloshed.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I will keep by the crate, making sure it's all.
Okay. So you're staying by the crate, just keeping an eye on it. Gotcha. All right. So the two of you are able to sneak off and head off to the other side of the deck. You also begin to hear kind of like hushed people speaking in Dutch. They're kind of, as you're sort of being able to make out what's being said, it sounds like a group of about 3 different people having like a very kind of like increasingly panicked conversation about like, how are we going to get out of here? Why did they take us onto the ship? Like, are they going to take us with us? Are they just going to kill us? Like, we need to get out of here. We need to get off of this ship. And it's one of those conversations that has probably been going around in circles because they don't have any means of freeing themselves.
Yeah.
But you come around a corner on the deck, and you see basically what amounts to a brig area. There is like a room that has bars around it and a locked door. And these like this echoing conversations coming out of 3 people, one of whom is your aunt. There is a guard here who has a rifle at his side. He's sitting down and he's just like reading a book.
So he's facing not us.
No, he is like on the other side of where you are and the door, so that like he is in the optimal position to see anyone coming into this area. But he is currently rifle leaned against the wall reading a book.
Okay.
And you are around the corner and have like gotten a glimpse of this.
Bernie, do you have a plan? Because if not, I'm just going to go in guns blazing. Like in a hushed tone, but...
You want me to cause a distraction? I can do one without blowing things up.
But do you want to do one without blowing things up?
But we're trying to save the people, right?
We are.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. We cause distraction. I'll stay here. Just get him out. I pull out my knife. Like, we'll use it if we have to.
I got this. Don't worry about it, babe.
Okay.
Take care of you.
All right.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
It's a male guard?
Yeah, it's a male guard.
It's a male guard. Okay. I'm going to go up and do the most heavy-handed seduction I can do.
All right. So I'm going to tell you that the default action of this man, seeing someone that he doesn't recognize and does not expect them coming, is going to be to pick up his gun and shoot you.
Yeah. That's why
he might be distracted right now, but he is on guard duty. So your persuasion roll is going to be very important.
Yes.
To not having this default action occur.
We got some number of momentum.
We do have some momentum.
I believe in you.
Be spent in various ways.
All right.
So that's what you're doing. You are coming up seductive gun bunny. Is Rem going to be doing? Is Rem going to be holding back? What is Rem going to be doing while this happens?
If this is the plan, Rem is going to have the gun with the knife on it. Like,
so you have your gun with the bayonet.
Yeah, bayonet. Gonna have it trained on him. Because I prefer Bernie to not get shot. I like Bernie. Bernie's fun.
Okay.
So I don't want to shoot because that's loud. Like, he's getting shot before she is. So I'm just gonna like have it trained.
Okay, so you're at the ready to, if this doesn't work, pop a shot off.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Okay, so like I said, this persuasion roll is clutch.
You got this, Bernie.
All right.
This is going to be probably manipulation.
Manipulation, that's what I was going to suggest. Yes. Or with the enhancement. I was going to ask for something, but it's not important. If it's important, I'll remember. Let's see. No. That's just no. It didn't work. I will take my consequence.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what you can do, because
bullet, I think.
So because you have a good deal of momentum that you haven't spent, something you can do is spend 2 of it to turn this failure into a basic success.
All right. I'm not actively trying to seduce him so much
Yeah.
as trying to confuse him.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that will-
So if you want to spend those 2 momentum, you can like earn a moment of confusion in which he does not pull his gun and shoot you.
right, that's fine. But I
So
will. If we're
that
good with
is
that,
achieved. This guy is like, who? Like you're like getting up close to him and putting the moves on him. You're like, "Oi, who the fuck are you?"
What's the distance between like where I am and where he would be? Like, is it sprinting distance?
Oh no, I mean you are within the range where you can come around the corner and pop a shot off at this guy. Or I mean you could like get in and stab him.
Okay.
Like either of those options are fully within your capability.
Okay, since he's confused, I'm gonna take that time, like pop out and just rush him.
Okay.
Stab, on mouth, down. Stop
Okay.
screaming. I don't want people to go there.
Give me a close combat roll plus
Okay.
dexterity, or might or dexterity.
I believe in you, Rem. Why did I believe in you, Rem?
can I give him a close combat roll?
Yeah, if you want to deck this guy, you can absolutely deck this guy.
All right, that I can do. I believe I have close combat.
So yeah, what happens is Rem runs in, tries to go for a stab, whiffs it. This guy is going for his gun. What does and Bernie is going to try and deck him.
Can you tell me how much close combat I have? Is that a 2?
Let me take a check. Let's see though. No. No, you do not have any close combat. You have athletics.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you want to deck him, it would just be straight dexterity or might.
That's fine.
Another rule of this is that because you don't have any in the skill, you will not be able to use any kind of enhancement. So it's just going to be a straight roll.
Okay. 1.
All right, 1 hit. You punch him. It's not very effective. He is going to he basically has, you've hit him. He moves back, like backs up into the wall, has his gun out, and is going to shoot the person with a knife.
Smart.
So he is going to shoot at you. If you would please roll your stamina to establish your defense for this roll.
And does the armor I got do, or what does the armor I got?
What the armor does is it essentially gives you bonus hit points.
Gotcha.
It does not affect whether or not you get hit.
I got 1 hit.
Okay, so your defense is 2. I'm going to do a roll for myself here. Okay, so he gets a total of 3 hits, which does overcome your defense. You get shot, but you take it on the armor. So you are not hurt, but your reinforced clothing is now expended.
Gotcha.
So yeah, a shot rings out through the ship. And you guys over by the crate hear the shot ring out. The guy Eddie kind of cranes his neck over and says, "What the fuck was that?"
Oh, okay. So might have made Red Eye a little upset after he found out about a certain thing and about you remember the other story I was telling you about? Yeah, I had someone else break the news to him, so he might fire off a few rounds. I wouldn't ask him a few questions if I were you.
All right, so on that bullshitting, we are going to, in the age-old tradition of pulp cereals everywhere, leave it on a cliffhanger. Our heroes are in danger. Will they be able to get out of this? Will they get away? Will they be able to free the prisoners and explode the bomb? Who knows? We'll have to see it later in a potential game some down the line. I don't know. This is a con. But yeah, so we are ending this on a cliffhanger. We don't know whether this mission will be successful or not, because oh boy, are our friends in a lot of trouble. Well, thank you guys so much for playing in this game of Steam Wars. Did everybody have fun?
It was.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Awesome, great. Well, like I said, this is a part of Onyx PathCon. Please, by all means, go take advantage of the sale for Onyx Path Anniversary. I'm going to pop that link into the chat just now. Come on now. And also go to start playing games to play in the con games that are ongoing. And check out our charity partner, the Bahana Group. All of these links are incoming in the chat. All right. Well, I think that wraps up our adventure for the night. I think that you guys can pull it out eventually.
We'll be fine.
I think you guys are going to be fine. No one's going to get shot. No one's going to die. You're not going to get caught in an explosion because y'all are heroes. All right. Thank you guys for playing. Good night. We'll see y'all later.
Night.